to create.
Alright, cool, man. You just missed the whole fire conversation we're having. But anyway, welcome to episode 6 of the Dying to Create podcast. My name is Clinton Zoshi. And today on this episode, we have someone who I think should introduce himself.
Man, this be NOBUNAGA, NOBUNANGA at the end. People always put a KA. I don't know why. Yeah, like, the African way. So somewhere it was written about NOBUNAGA. The homies were NOBUNAGA. I'm like, bro, just cut it. Just cut it.
Let the people know what to do.
To keep it short, I can say I'm a creative director in anything and everything art-based. So my main medium is fashion. That's what most people know me from. So I design clothes, like everything that I rock. I usually design my own stuff. And then it takes from there, like, okay, how can you present the clothes? That's where the creative direction part comes through.
I've been hearing a lot of the word creative director. Like, what does that word mean to you?
To me, a creative director,
because it's confusing me lately, man. Everyone's who does anything nowadays is like, I'm the creative director for this. I'm like,
what does that mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I think a creative director to me, it's someone who carries the vision of the brand and he executes it. How does he execute it? That's when you have your hierarchy. You have your creative director, you have your art director, then you have your fashion designer, and then you have your teams. So you can have your fashion team, which is your stylists. For instance, out there, they can have maybe 10 designers. A good example that I always give people, it's Balenciaga, because everyone somehow knows about Balenciaga.
Yeah.
Balenciaga, the creative director, is Demna. But Demna isn't the sole designer of that brand.
Because I think now a lot of people just get confused between, if I design something, then I'm also not a creative director.
You see, that's the problem. But as you speak about that, our problem isn't solely about being a creative director.
Yeah.
Our problem is about which box we're trying to pigeonhole ourselves in. Right now, everyone says, for instance, everyone wants to be a fashion designer. That's the hype right now. Everyone who used to be curators, who used to just put fits and post on Instagram, now their buyer is a fashion designer. That's the thing. And then when you start telling people, oh, okay, the things like you can be a stylist. There's this dude who's always popping on TikTok, Instagram. His name is Winston K. Tall dude, very stylish. He never comes out and says, nah, I'm a designer or what. But he's way cooler than designers. He's way cooler than stylists.
Yeah.
So I feel right now where our problem is, we have to be comfortable in our own skin, in our abilities. Like, yo, listen, I think I can do this. I think what I can do,
right here.
It's this side. Not everyone is a designer, because if we're going to sit like, what is to design? To design is to actually create something new. It's to produce something. If you're customizing, you're not a designer.
You're a stylist.
Yeah, you see, you're now becoming a stylist. And that's why they even have terms like customization. There are people that are called custom designers. But no one wants to accept that because it doesn't sound as cool.
And it doesn't have the visibility of a creative director.
You see, and now the clout and the hype has moved from being the fashion designer to being the creative director. That's now where everyone is. Now I'm a creative director. Oh, okay. What have you done? For me, I would say, okay, well, what have I done as a creative director? But okay, I've done 5 fashion shows. And where did the creative direction part came? Okay, I designed the clothes, did the styling, we did the campaign videos, we did the photo shoots, and then you did the whole runway coordination. That's why when I was in Harare, the last fabric party, people were shocked because I think I was second of last, if not last, like at the main slot to showcase. And then they see you've got a bunch of niggas coming out wearing cloaks. Some people are coming here carrying coffins, and they're like, you see, it becomes a whole different thing. That's what I feel like creative direction is. It's creating a vision and a narrative to go with a vision. It isn't solely about being a designer. A designer just contributes to the conversation. You kind of put something in like, oh, okay, this is the story. This is the narrative I've been given. I can put this towards that.
Do you also design?
Yeah, I do. All of my stuff. The very first collection, I actually tried pushing hard on the creative direction.
Yeah.
Where it's like I try to get some of the homies, like 4 or 5 homies. I'm like, yeah, this is my design team. You know, when you're young, you're trying to get everyone on it. This is my design team, and you're looking at people like Cozy. Imagine you take Cozy, you take I have a homie called Basaka, put them there. Hey, design something creative, and then like when everything comes through sketches and pictures, you're like, hey, shit, nah, this isn't it. But then it's always hard to have that conversation with friends. That's why I prefer not to work with friends until we really tell each other. If we have an honest conversation, like, yo, listen, this is how it stands, this is how it is.
I think your strength is here, not here.
And then you also have to be honest with each other from jump. If he can tell you, like, I think this works best with this, and you can take it from a place of general, okay, this is work, not a place like, because they say this, screw him.
Yeah, I think there's need for honesty in the creative space, especially if you're going to work with people that you're friends with or family with. I mean, I'm digging the fit, bro. Because I hadn't noticed, these are not actual cross belts. These are actual belts.
Like belts and belts. So if you then want to finish, you can tighten, close it, make it super like metallic. So it's everything has to kind of correlate, the belts, all kind of at the same time putting together. So
like, where does that come from? Where does it live in your brain?
I think it's because I like punk rock.
Punk rock. So the music genre.
So it then comes through, you start talking about the whole thing that came through with punk rock. That's when you have, your raves, your garage raves. So you kind of start looking into that culture, like, oh, okay, why was this to them punk rock? How they used to define it. They said punk rock is just rebellion against the system, against that. And that's something that I feel like everyone has to have in them. Because if you always work within the so-called perimeters you are given, you're never going to find yourself. Sometimes you have to break. That's why we come to the conversation where, what is success to you? To parents, success is their child getting a full education and getting a job. To them, that's success. They've done their job.
Yeah. What is success to you?
What is success to you now? That's when you kind of have to look back, and you have to, it's a really honest conversation that most people can't have. Even I, sometimes when I sit down and I look at it, I'm like, okay, I thought I won something, but is that what I define as success to me?
Yeah.
You see? So I kind of then look at it at point of view, like a third person point of view. Have you seen like our business has its mission, its vision, those goals? For me, that is what success is. Realizing what my potential is and trying to reach potential. Because at the end of the day, grasp it. At the end of the day, I don't want to be someone who's going to get to 40, 50, 60 years. Or when you're now on your deathbed and you're like, I had so much potential when I was 20 years old.
And I never really realized.
And then I'm looking at myself and everything that I wrote down, everything that I plotted, I didn't follow through with anything. So to me, success is setting a goal that aligns with my potential and then trying to achieve that. If I can reach that, even if it means at the minimum, it's okay. I've been successful. So my goal as a person, as a designer, what would bring me enlightenment isn't money. It's okay, it kind of has money, but it's not money.
Yeah, you need money.
You see, it's kind of being my goal. It's achieving a lifestyle, not a lifestyle, being able to sustain my lifestyle, doing fashion. That's, to me, that's success to me. Yes, we want to all go out and showcase at Paris Fashion Week, at Milan Fashion Week. But unfortunately, that's not the reality of what life is. Sometimes your job is to just open the door for someone. You never know, someone will see you and then, oh, this industry looks like it has something interesting.
Do you feel successful at this point in your career? Like if it was to be cut short, like right now.
Today.
Yeah.
I would feel like I wouldn't, to be honest. I feel like I've let some opportunities go, which is quite crazy because everyone kind
of let them go, you miss them.
I would like to say I let them go. If I say I miss them, it would be like I was sleeping on them. I actually knew they were there. And then, kind of that thing where you relax way too much, and then you realize it too late.
What stopped you? Like, you were relaxing, you thought you had time, or
I personally think
I'm not yet ready?
I waited for motivation, and I think we live in an era where you can't wait for motivation. You just have to go and get it.
You have to go and get the job done.
You see, for me, for instance, I'm the one who has to do the fabric choice. I'm the one who has to write the story, create the narrative. So how do I then say, oh, today I don't want to work, I don't feel motivated?
Yeah.
You've literally screwed the whole house over.
True.
So it's now a situation I feel every day, wake up and get it. Doesn't mean necessarily sitting on a machine. Can literally be just getting into town, going to fabric shops, network with the people there, look at the fabrics, get some pictures and stuff like that. Why do you need to network? You get a situation where you have a job that comes in. They are maybe offering you maybe 1,000, 5,000, but they're not going to give you anything to start off that job. So you have to have that.
You have to fund yourself first before they can pay.
Go to those people like, listen, I need about 100 or 1,000 meters of this. I'll pay you back, because you have networked with them. They can, okay, cool. You can get it without giving us collateral.
So it's important to build your network before you actually get the money or you get the funding. Before you even blow up, you need to have a set network before you.
You have to. That's how it is, because we live in an era where clout runs the world.
Yeah.
Everyone right now who is up wants to act like they don't have clout, or they're not about clout. Clout is what is talking. That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
If you're in the streets, that's because of clout. If someone is coming to you trying to get a feature, or if you're a musician, it's because of clout. He heard something from someone, he had people having a conversation, and they said, that nigga's cool. I'm like, oh, okay, he's got clout, he's got street cred. Yeah. So I feel if we are in that era, you kind of have to have clout. I think for most people, it's hard to actually get the clout that they want.
By clout, what do you mean exactly?
Clout is like fame. But what type of fame now? It's street fame. That's the thing. Everyone in the streets is like, ooh, that guy is popping. That guy is the shit.
Of course.
But then street fame doesn't give you anything. It's not a currency that you can call upon. It can be an asset if you work on it.
Yeah.
It can be a liability if you let it sit. How does it become an asset? Okay, cool. I am buzzing here and here and here. I am a designer. Shit. Let me go to so-and-so, talk to him, see if he can get anything for me. So many places now are just looking for something new. That's why sometimes it takes you doing a job for free for you to advance. It's like going to do uniform for maybe the art gallery. You do their uniform and maybe they pay you 200 USD, but the whole project costs you 1,000.
Yeah, bro,
everyone is going to tell me that's a very bad deal to do. But so many people enter the gallery every day.
Yeah.
It just takes one person saying, I like that. Who did that? I'm a phone call away. You've not got a wedding, whether you design for weddings or not. You've got a wedding. What are you going to do? Are you going to take the opportunity or let it go? Or back to where we started? It can either become an asset or a liability.
Yeah.
You see?
You have to really believe in yourself to spend 1,000 just to get that one, just to attract that one person.
It's painful.
How long have you been designing?
I think I've been doing it. What I like to call design, like going from the sketch telling a story to the fabric story, buying the fabric, cutting it, making the piece. I would like to say maybe this is my seventh year. Yeah, doing that.
How old are you now?
Hey, my age is an answer to my brother.
You don't want to share your age?
Hey.
No, I'm just curious because you speak so well.
He's 12.
It's possible.
No, I'm just saying,
I'm in my 20s.
So well,
I'm in my 20s.
And
very specific.
Yeah, you speak so well, and as if you're someone who's been in the game for years, someone who's experienced a lot of crap and a lot of good stuff. Like I was just wondering, but it's cool if you don't want to share your age, but he's very young.
Nah. Are you willing to blip it out? If Golan is willing to blip it out, I can say it.
Oh yeah, cool.
We can take a good guess.
Because you know the thing that sometimes the crazy thing is a lot of people, you find people, maybe they're promoting a show or they're writing about you and they say, so there's this young designer, Nobunaga, and it turns out you're really not that young. Maybe you're in your 30, you're 35 or you're 38 and they keep calling you young. So bro, that's why I'm asking.
If you see me, if I'm now in the 30s, bro, hey, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but he looks young. He probably looks younger than he actually is. A baby face monster.
Nah.
You know what I mean? So, like I'm just saying, I always find it interesting when people are like, so all these young creatives or this, and then you find there's a 40-year-old who just hasn't blown up in there. I wonder how he feels, you know.
And he's also in the conversation. Hey.
Yeah.
But okay, to make it easier for you, Olan is going to blip this out though.
No, but I can take a wild guess because you said you went to school with this brother, so I can.
Yeah, but he had repeated, so probably a year or two younger.
So you're pretty young, bro.
Pretty young. It's a double figure. I've given it away.
Yeah, it is. It is. I already know. If I can calculate his. Yeah.
Minus one.
Yeah. It's that Taylor Swift song, man. I don't know if you know there's a Taylor Swift song that has the same title.
Then you know I saw it. Yeah, bro, it's crazy. How I can put it, I can feel so you have to do a lot of, how can I put it? You have to look into yourself for a very long time for you to kind of have an idea of what you're going to do.
So how did it start? Like, I mean, coming, like when I hear your name, Nobunaga, I know that's Japanese, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's
not balancing. Something is amiss.
No, like when I hear that name, I already know it's Japanese. It's kung fu for me, you know, from my own influences and growing up and just hearing the name. And then you hear Nobu from hip hop music, you know, there's a restaurant called Nobu and there's Japanese food and all that.
You see.
From my own knowledge, I just want to know, like, what does the name come from, Nobunaga?
Okay, so that's actually a direct, it's a loose translation of my government name. But then I've used that for so long that's now kind of my name.
That's just your name, huh?
Reason why I felt I needed a persona was to kind of differentiate work and personal life. I feel people don't have boundaries, especially when it comes to personal life.
So you already knew that back then.
Bro.
Because you've been Nobunaga since I've known of you, which is a couple of years back, when you were younger than now.
That's one thing that I had to. It takes time, but it takes someone maybe showing you stuff like someone entering or invading your personal space.
Yeah.
Someone acting like they know you, they know your background, they know your parents. Someone now feels like they no more have that. You need to know that, oh, okay, this guy is cool, he loves cool, but then there is a boundary. So that's why there was that persona. And when it came through, it's kind of like, they actually kind of helped me because most people can't, or they don't approach me.
And it keeps the mystery.
They go around me. Cozy, I hate you know this nigga, can you hook me up? And then Cozy would tell me, and then it becomes easier for me. But how the name came to in a kind of roundabout way to get it, besides the translation, I'm a historian by heart. I read a lot of history, like history.
Modern history or like history, like from the back.
From back end.
Word.
You see. But I'm trying not to put some references here because, I feel like people are too sensitive out here. Like if I tell you a reference from way back, someone will be like, oh, this guy. How did he bring Hitler into the conversation?
Let's get into it.
Hitler was cool, man.
Let's get into
it. Even the way you're dressed right now.
Bleeping
like,
that out.
Those guys are like, I'm just saying, like, I think Hitler, those guys started Hugo Boss. Like, they were dressed so sharp.
You see?
Yeah, I mean, Adidas.
Do you know what's the cool part about that? Do you know who was dressing Hitler up?
No.
Gucci.
Where?
Search it up.
Not Hugo.
Search Hugo, Gucci, all of those guys. They had, your Italians, your Germans. And I don't blame them. That's literally your country. That's where you're from. That's where you operate.
So Mussolini was actually dripped out also.
Bro,
he was from Italy.
I mean,
with this bald head, But you can see, like, if you look at it, like, if you step back from looking at all of these things, look at the clothes they were wearing. Just look at the tailoring. Because, this is impeccable.
Yeah.
And you start realizing like, hey, this is actually high quality things. I once gotten a chance to see, it wasn't Hitler's, but it was one of his officers, like old officers.
Yeah.
And they had the stuff in a gallery. And it stood there for like hours just looking at it. We can see the stitching. It was so good that you can't see there's like an invisible stitch. So you see how pants are made. It's kind of you join, you close. Blazers usually they have this funny like in the middle. They have this funny like inseam showing where the two fabrics got. You couldn't see that. You looked through it, and they were saying, "Oh, we try to restore it, just covering the patches from the war and stuff." And it's stuff like that that kind of piques your intrigue. Like, okay, whoever made this was serious. Watch this other film. Got the name, but it was actually talking about American soldiers when they went to war, and you see the uniforms.
Yeah,
these kids are dying. They're being taken from school, going straight to war. They die, and it's not like you're getting a burial or anything. The first thing they do, they strip you of your uniform. It goes back home. It's washed. The next kid coming through is getting it, and sometimes they even forget to remove the name tag. Sometimes the washing is messed up. So there are blood stains, there's a part, and that's someone else's reality. And these clothes stood the test of time of about 4 decades.
Like just going from one day
to the next. And then it's that thing that when I saw it, it was still intact. So it's kind of the thing like, that's the type of tailoring that we need in modern day. How
so good you see? Stand the test
and that's the thing I feel it's also a thing about fabric choice. As we stand like in Zimbabwe, everyone kind of has this thing that it's too expensive to go to a tailor. And I'll be honest with you, it is expensive.
It is. I mean, based on just the economic setup of our country.
Like if we talk about it, the gross domestic product, GDP, it's always in the negatives.
Yeah.
We say we produce stuff, we don't have any working industries. Right now, Bulawayo, take any combi going to western areas, you're passing one way or the other, you're going to pass an industry that used to be there that is closed down.
Yeah.
And then it's things like that. And then now your tailors, they no more have an industry. Fashion doesn't have an industry. These are now just people that are now tailors. Someone who used to be a designer is now a tailor.
No, a tailor.
Why? They're going to go to...
What's the difference between a tailor and a designer?
Designer creates an idea. A tailor just executes it. My job is basically to make sure that I am the best at making whatever you come with. So that's what like a tailor is for.
And the cinematographer or cameraman.
You see? And everyone doesn't want to be called a cameraman. You see? It's that
right,
thing.
Cameraman?
I said cameraman yesterday, I'm proud.
And no, I'm joking, man. You have to be at some point in time. You can't be too conceited to feel like you're above it. It is what it is.
Yeah, but in a proper film industry, you've got directors, writers, producers, financiers, production houses. But now it's just cameramen,
it's just like that
directors.
Thing that we're talking about. People like the jobs or the titles that give you the most visibility most of the time. Yeah, everyone wants to be Chris Nolan or
But behind Christopher Nolan, there's a huge team. There's his brother, the company, the driver.
The driver makes sure he's in time.
Hoytema, the cinematographer.
And Hoyt van Hoytema's assistants.
Yeah.
The Kodak who have to...
those names.
I mean, there's Kodak processing the film.
Unfortunately.
So you see, it's things like that. You see how many names you just had to do. The hierarchy for that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with fashion. We're all going to see the one who's at the top.
Yeah.
That's your creative director. Everyone is going to come down. Bro, the time I get to the credits list, after a movie, how many people actually look at credits?
Very few.
Christopher Nolan's name will pop up before he even takes out the cast. Because he knows everyone is going to be, Christopher Nolan, let's go and watch it in 4D. I want to feel the breeze hit me. You see, the type of stuff.
True.
But now, same way like you're saying, no one wants to take the roles that are below. But we kind of need that for a society to progress, for a society to actually live. We need those roles. The same way with Matuta Mapin. People always laugh at those guys. And it always shocks me, like, if we take out the morning runs that they do, to take out your trash, you're not going to get time to do it.
Yeah, you're not.
Because if we show you where the compost is supposed to be, we tell you you're supposed to recycle this, you're supposed to put this there, supposed to do, you're going to see like, nah, this is, true. That's why someone is getting paid for that. Every job matters.
Like if those guys stopped doing their jobs, the world would be at a standstill, to be honest.
You see, and that's the thing.
Like the mechanics, the waste collectors, all those guys.
The flies, the cockroaches.
Bro, the cockroaches. Bro, how many of us are handymen out here, man? Most of us can't even change a bulb out there. Or
not me.
Or even repair your stove.
Not me too. I can change a bulb. I can try.
Of course.
I can learn how to fix something.
You said someone.
I'm saying. All I'm saying is if your stove died today, bro, could you open it up and fix it?
I mean,
or you'd go hungry, or you go back to putting a fire outside.
I mean, if worst comes to worst, you can always Google something, eh?
Yeah, and then you burn the whole house down.
Okay, I'll call the electrician, eh?
Exactly my point. If electricians did not exist, or they're like, nah, we're done. Remember the South Park thing? Yeah,
I saw it last week.
Yeah. They become the billionaires, because right now the billionaires are the engineers, right? The Elon Musks and the what? Those are mechanics, but they're the billionaires. That should tell you something about the world. I don't know if you answered us about your name, bro.
Oh, okay, shit, my bad. Direct translation of the government name.
What does it mean, Nobunaga? What does it?
No, I'm saying it's a direct translation. What it means, Nobunaga, it's kind of the chosen one. But how the story comes through, because the most popular person with that name was a guy called Oda Nobunaga. The clan, they came from a clan called the Oda clan. So he was the firstborn heir to his father. The father passed away, and it was a big clan. So it was the time when Japan was just kind of ruled in sections. So everyone kind of was against him being the heir, because they're like, he drinks too much, he's got too much concubines, he's a drunk, he can't lead us to anywhere, basically. And then he's the guy who actually united all of Japan. Well, I always say he united all of Japan. He used to say he didn't, but basically he had done like 95% of the work, and then he got betrayed by someone inside, and then he got killed. But that 5% is what someone, so depending on how it is, I like the people that actually push the narrative than the one that gets the credit. So it's kind of the one who's going to come be your theorist than the guy who actually comes out and says, oh, okay, I can prove that. If I never came up with a theory, you're never going to try to prove it. You're just going to focus on something else, like, Pythagoras theorem. So what it usually means, it's the black sheep, the chosen black sheep. And then for me, it's kind of something that intertwines and also like relates to me in a way, coming from, personal things, like from home,
Black sheep in the family.
Now imagine coming from a place where everyone is like, oh, he's wise, he can do this, he's going university, and then suddenly I'm like, oh, I now want to be a fashion designer. Like,
was that okay, let's take it there. Was that a decision that came when you were now about to go to varsity, or you always knew?
Bro, I was already in it. that's crazy.
You're already in varsity.
I was doing how can I put this? I was doing fashion designing, always doing it, but then I used to do it in like what people call capsule collection, but I used to call it like batches. So I used to get it like 5-10 looks maximum. So I'll do it like that. That's how Cozy, you'd see me on Cozy's page and stuff. Because Cozy would always be like, bro, I mess with this. Let's do something. So you'd pull up, we do something, we shoot, it goes through. So from doing that with Cozy, it then comes to a situation we started shooting. And then because Cozy and I were so close, it was easy. So I'm like, oh, even pull up by my crib today, I'm working at home. We do some stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, I have this idea. We shoot. So it came from that. That's how most people got to know me. But that's how it also helped me. So I was doing that, but still doing school at the same time. And then I went, we're doing architecture and something I don't really
studying. You wanted to study architecture.
I was already studying architecture, bro. That's how crazy it is. Then now just imagine the conversation you have to go. One day I was just like, you know what? This is depressing.
With the people who are paying the fees.
I just had to walk in there, Coco. Nah, I'm done.
What happened? What happened? What was the switch? Like, what was the thing? What's the event or the moment where you're like, nah.
Bro, like I used to have headaches just from going to school, bro. Like imagine you're there on campus, you're chilling, lecturers are not coming, students are making noise, papers are flying all over. Some kids are by the corner, some are, they're doing their own miscellaneous, some are there with their couples, some are smoking a blunt in class, and you're chilling there. I'm like, bro, what am I doing here? And then if you go back home and you chill like 1 week, everyone is like, why aren't you going to school?
Yeah.
I'm like, go to my school and see what's happening. And then like they got your time, which was like a month where it was literally a maximum of less than 10 people entering lectures. And then you're doing like additional mathematics, further mathematics, engineering mathematics.
What are you studying?
Nah, don't worry. I'll tell you that like after this, there are things like I feel certain personal things, you keep it like off. So it's things like that ended up getting to me. So I was like, I ended up like, you're right. You come back, you're right. And that was just one day I got home, I'm like, nah, this is not for me. I'm done. And then it's always a tough conversation to have because at home, usually most parents they've got two responses. It's either they're going to force you to go back or they're going to be like, oh, take some time off and think about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, trust me, I've been thinking.
Yeah.
And then
it's not a sudden decision.
Yeah, you see, when you go, you keep quiet maybe 3-4 months. Sometimes they're like, maybe he's possessed. Let's go to church. Let's go to church. Pastor, can you hold his head? Help him. Pastor's like, okay.
Pastor just knew this one now.
You see, so it kind of becomes to that situation. But after the conversation, that's why I can never go and fault my parents for how they think. Because considering they came,
did the best.
They did the best
with what they had.
Considering my parents all were like, I can't even say small town, rurals. My mom was like Kumusha in the rural. She only came to town, I think she was right after A level. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can imagine.
You see, you go from working in a bank to doing things like that. So
then you tell her you want to leave
and then I want to leave
proper school structure just to make clothes.
You see, my father, small town also, because I was actually born in Shishavani.
Oh,
so you see, that's if you've been to Shishavani, there's literally fuck all there, nothing.
Yeah,
it's just
boy.
It's just a what you see. So you then pull up, and then that's where you're born. You're kind of programmed to that, and then suddenly you come, and then you're chilling in Bulawayo, going to school here. The language is different. And when I'm
when did you come to Bulawayo?
I came fairly. I think it was 2000 and.
How old were you?
I was young, bro. I think I'd done nursery that side.
Okay.
But then I came and then I had to do nursery again here because now you can't go forward. Language barriers, always going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Just put him back there. So came here and went to SOS by North End there.
Yeah, so pretty much your whole life you've been here though.
No, but it's always that thing that you kind of look at like you had to adjust. But the nice part is the people that I used to live like around, the elders, the brothers, or the all kind of like, to pull up. You see, you kind of see them mess up. You try to avoid that. Sometimes you intentionally go to also mess up because you're like, hey, flip it. You know what? That looks cool. And then that's how you kind of just get yourself to know. So it's kind of that thing that knowing your background and knowing where you come from, like home-wise, it's kind of hard to have that conversation with your parents because to you, it always feels like you are ungrateful when you go to have that conversation. And then it ended up for me, it was a situation like, listen, it's now really bad. I don't see this. It's not getting any better.
So they didn't accept it from the jump.
From the jump, they were like, no. They give you time, and then
like, think about it.
It got to a point where they were like, listen, this is your life, and then if you struggle, no one is gonna pick you up because we gave you the best opportunity. We think this is what can get you to make a living. Still remember, I had a conversation with my mom. She probably won't like me saying this,
and the concerns are genuine though.
Just like, listen, if you're saying this, if next year were to say move out, do you think you can pay rent? You can do this, you can do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I think so. I really genuinely do think so. And then it got to a point where I knew my parents, the conversation that always had is like, he's trying hard to prove a point. And you know, when you win 1 or 2 competitions, when you have newspapers writing your name, you have international magazines asking for interviews, it gets to a point where like, maybe there is something there.
Maybe he's doing something.
You see, but then we're now just at a point where my parents, it's like, I can see they don't really approve because it's not what is the traditional path for them. But then it's kind of one of those things that like, he's doing something with his life, so let's let him do his thing and let's see where it goes. So occasionally here and there, they're like, oh, so how's work? Oh, how's it coming? Oh,
it takes time, but you see, yeah, you've got to be brave and bold with your life because it is your life at the end of the day.
End of the day, yeah.
You know, it sucks to feel like you're disappointing your parents, but yeah, it's your life. And in a way, you're not disappointing them. It's just that they are failing to fully grasp the world that we live in currently.
Yeah.
You know? It is.
I think it's how we can put it, like right now. Let's say TikTok. So many people making money off TikTok.
Bro.
But the crazy part is our so-called visionaries in the country don't want to be on TikTok. That's the crazy part. Look at everyone who says there's a visionary, oh, this guy is the greatest. Why aren't you on TikTok? Nah, bro, it's not my style. I feel like it's oversaturated. And to an extent, I kind of get it's that thing where even yourself, imagine, let's say we remove cameramen, remove cameras, remove every guest.
Yeah.
It's you put in there to shoot a TikTok video. How do you feel?
It's not my thing.
It's not your thing. You see, it's that thing. But if we're to say, let's clip a podcast and cut 5 seconds into it. Oh, no, cool, let's do that.
Yeah.
You see, so I always feel that some of the things you have to accept. Like, yes, you may say it's not your thing, but okay, how are you going to use this new consumer age to buy into? Because everyone has to learn how to sound.
We're late adopters, man. We're late adopters of technology, most of us. I mean, I'm from the 90s. I'm a 90s baby. And I guess it also comes with the fact that, you know, with technology, all these new things, we are having to grow into them, especially for people my generation. For you guys who are in the 2Ks, you were born into this. It's a part of you. So you can't say, it's not my thing. It is your thing, nigga. Like, it literally is your thing. You were born into this. You know, some of you are being born live on TikTok right now, so to speak, on social media. So you can't say it's kind of, it's the same way that our parents or even my brother would be like, nah, Kanye West is not my
type of music. He's not my jam.
Because he was born in the 80s. That's Pac, that's Biggie. He was born into it. So
but on that point, tell me, where do you stand in the conversation of Kanye West?
I love Kanye, man. That's, for me, he's right here. I mean, over the years, as I've also changed and grown. But for me, with hip hop, like before, my brother's like 10 years older than me.
Okay.
So in the house, he's blasting Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Method Man, all these guys, these older guys.
Method Man is hard.
Like, you know, I'm growing up to that hip hop. I'm a hip hop head now, but I never felt really connected to that music.
It's the thing, right? It's the same thing as in, like, you can put people like Rakim into the conversation. Most people, they don't even put Rakim if you're not a hip hop head, because they're like, Rakim had the smoothest flow. I'm like, bro, like, let's be honest. If we're going to take music musically, how do you feel about the conversation or the statement that Biggie is overrated? It's things people like Tupac is overrated. People will come and below in the comment section, you don't understand this. Yeah,
there's
you
people
went
always,
in this.
obviously,
like,
people are always going to defend the era that they come from and what they relate to more.
I feel Kanye is good. To a point, there are parts of Kanye that I'm also like, that's not for me.
No,
I get it.
Polarizing. But for me, Kanye was the first hip hop artist that when I heard, I'm like, okay, I
something
what he's talking about. Like, I relate because all the guys are all about the gang violence, and whatnot. But he comes in, he's talking about his accident, but this happened,
mental health,
fight for this. So as a kid, I'm like, nah, I hear him. His music is palatable to me. And as he's grown and as I've gotten into creativity and all the creative spaces, I'm like, yeah, man, Kanye West he's fearless. He's all this multi-creative guy, like multidisciplinary and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he's a polarizing guy, man.
You put Donald Glover in that conversation.
Yeah. And you find Donald Glover's like, no, Kanye's.
That's why Glover always pulls up and is like, I'm Kanye's son.
He's
like, I'm not Ye, but I'm Ye's son.
Like he's done a lot for people of my generation who wanted to get, like, he forged a sort of way. You follow him and his moves and all that stuff. I mean, it's not popular to like right now. But
that's the thing. But I feel like people are just gonna hate on Kanye just because he tells the truth. That's how I can put it. In his eyes, that's his life. That's how he sees it. And I feel like, when you lose your mother, you kind of lose a certain essence of yourself. So for Kanye, it's kind of like, I always feel for him, it's a fight. It's always like, listen, you know what?
Someone who's in a fight.
What do you want? It's like, even when it's a normal conversation, he wants to kind of put that aggression, like, oh, if you've got something, let's fight about it. It's kind of the thing that I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. Because now if you look at, I don't even look at the genius.
And I think it's also because he's just had to fight so much in his life from the way that
he's now accustomed to it.
So he feels like everything has to be a fight for it to feel legit to him, maybe. That's how he feels.
That's the thing. You can never really know what someone goes
through. You can never really know.
And I think while we talk about Kanye, you can even mention things like depression, mental health.
Yeah.
I feel as Africans, all of us, we need therapy. But how we put it? I get it. Give me a second. Let me land. You see, how I can say we need therapy. Some people need therapy as a weekly basis because there's a lot of things you need to deal with.
Yeah.
Some people need it as a monthly. Some people need it as every 4th month, every 3 months. Reason being, you always need someone to talk to. And I feel like as Africans or as blacks in general, we grew up with this mentality that it's normal to go through shit and just keep quiet.
Yeah, Indota must.
And then now we've got females who also are like, if I don't do it for myself, who will? We've got females that trusted someone or trusted a male and that guy went and screwed her over. So it's things like that you kind of feel everyone kind of needs therapy. Just needs someone where, it's a safe space.
Yeah.
I don't know this person, so it means I'm not obligated to, how can I put it, to lie. Because I don't know, it's not like it's going to go anywhere else. You go there, you sit, whether it's 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and you just kind of blurt out everything.
When you talk about something, you defeat it. You kill its power over you. Especially if it's something that's negative.
But no,
I agree, man. A lot of us need therapy.
But the problem is fathers are not in the home and you can't really talk back to mothers because they feel offended.
Hey,
thing.
I feel like that's changing because our generation and you guys that are coming, I mean, we are in the same generation very much.
Our generation is taking a while to have kids.
No, yours is more self-aware and you're more in touch with your feelings, man. You guys talk about your feelings all the time.
That's crazy, but that's the thing that I actually don't like about this generation.
Why? You're in your feelings too much?
Bro, niggas be in their feelings. Even things that don't need you to be in your feelings. The same thing even like with...
I think it's happening too much. It's important, but nah.
You need to be self-aware, but not to an extent where it feels like that's your identity. Like, yo, I'm depressed, so I have to wear all black every day. Bro,
you're not depressed. You're just
confused.
Just broke. You're just hungry right now. You're just hungry.
Get a meal or two.
And tell me if you still feel the same.
Do you know if you want to know how people, if you want to test depression, right?
Yeah.
see how money is a very big determinant of their mood. Someone, if you give him 10 years, it's always here.
Yeah,
the moment he doesn't have, oof, suddenly I'm depressed at home. Bro, this was the situation all along. You just had money. Yeah. Now because you're broke, now you kind of can see the reality.
These words are being thrown around too easily and too much. And people, it also is just because we are now finding our self-worth in things. You know, find our self-worth in money. Our happiness is in money. Our happiness is in our followers and our likes.
Bro.
Take away the likes and someone is ready to jump off a bridge.
You see? Bro, that's the thing.
I mean, back then, like, no one cared about your feelings. Like, you just had to do what you had to do. If you're facing problems, you couldn't, like, off yourself because you had responsibilities.
No, it's good to be able to talk about things.
Yeah.
It was important because that's why our fathers are also messed up.
Yeah.
And our mothers
if you have
because they're never given the chance.
Yeah.
I think if you have a functional extended family, it's kind of all right. But what if you're that person who moves away? Like with most people, they grow up in the villages or their relatives are from far away and then they move. That extended family is kind of eliminated. So there's no one you can really talk to.
Because like, look at it this way. At a home, whenever they give you the chance to say your feelings, it's always a very tricky part because how they come, it's usually when it's a moment of people are angry. Okay, what is the problem? Now you're kind of like, hey.
Yeah, when it comes in that way,
you've already been put in a corner. You can't even say, and when they now genuinely even come wanting to check on you a day or two after, it's either your head is hot, you've lost it, or it's now a situation like, no, I'd rather keep it to myself. That's why people now, I feel, love is very important.
It is.
Like, if you have a girlfriend or a partner where you're really connected with and you've been through some stuff together and you're honest with each other, that's someone who can maybe be a safe haven to you. You kind of talk about like, it's like this, and then they can also help you in a way to realize that, but you were wrong here. Okay, here you're supposed to do this. Because now I feel like my generation, it's easier for them to text a message out. Why not go face to face and tell them? That's the reason why people they won't go to the club to pick up women. I've got Instagram for me. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, someone pissed me off. I'm going to put it on my WhatsApp status. He's going to find out.
I mean, it's safer behind the screen.
And Twitter.
Safer behind the keyboard.
That's why Draco's like, trigger fingers need to turn to trigger fingers. Like, let's stop all the tweeting and then actually be about what it is. Because I feel there is this base that people have in voice notes and messages online. I'm like, I'm pretty sure if this person was in front of you right now, like nigga, that's not happening.
Like, nigga, I know you. You're not that tough.
You're not that type of guy. And I'm telling you,
you're a nice boy.
You find
a nice man.
You find someone even one of the calmest persons.
Yeah.
When you say something like that and you push them to the edge, you'll be shocked. Because he feels he now needs to defend himself.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the homeboy turns into Muhammad Ali. And you're like, I didn't expect him to be this guy. I thought I was just going to push him into a corner, smack him up, leave him alone. And it's things like that. Because people are now used too much. Let's go face to face.
We're used to hiding. We like hiding. We are now substituting reality with this virtual reality.
Yeah, virtual reality.
Twitter's not a real place, bro.
I mean, but why? Like, we have nowhere else to go.
Yeah, it's because we are not used to expressing our emotions in real time. So
yeah, and the people who are, if you try to express yourself to the people in front of you, good luck with that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Why can't we create a safe space? Like, I can safely say maybe, let's say 2003 going to the 90s, you more or less one generation.
Yeah.
Why can't we then say you're not too old and you're not too young? Why can't we create a space for ourselves? We've got people that want to dress up or what. They're going to feel some type of way. They're like, I can't dress up because the guy who's selling airtime outside is going to tell me like, I'm like, oh, snap. I cannot skate because everyone's going to be like, you get hurt.
Yeah.
I cannot do A, B, C, D or express myself because they're going to feel some sort of way. So why can't we make something for us a safe haven, because eventually, if we hide, the offsprings we're gonna give to this world are also gonna hide.
Maybe the same
And
thing.
it's eventually gonna get to a point where if you go to a really old age, maybe your 80s, you'll be looking at the generation and you wonder what's wrong with this world. Because I think we're giving too much leeway to kids over things that are not supposed to. The same thing like right now. Most people, there is a better education system in Zimbabwe than there is in Poland. But most kids, are telling you right now, they're going to Poland. Why? Because in their minds, they've been told that's what's life. That's how you flex on people on the gram.
Yeah, that's what our parents believe to be the right.
You see, but then most of them are just going there cleaning toilets and old men. And then I'm telling you, bro, why don't you just go back home and try to make... Man, let's be honest. Like that's another thing.
The truth.
And you have to be honest with yourself.
That's UK, man. That's UK. Old men, that's UK.
He's trying to protect himself. No, it's okay. You can protect yourself, bro.
No, because with the UK, it's more like the K visa stuff. But with Poland, you go.
Did you ever wipe some white man ass, bro?
Because they nah.
He's trying to defend himself. It's okay. It's okay.
No. That's the story. That's the case with K visa. With Poland, I'm trying to explain. I was there.
I get you.
Like they. In Poland, the nice thing about Poland is things can actually be everything besides accommodation is actually cheaper that side. Even accommodation, pretty much.
All right.
Because they use the zloty, right?
Yeah.
And we use the dollar, and the dollar is stronger than the zloty. Compared to the UK, where the currency now is a bit
lower, yeah.
But the problem with Poland is you don't really make as much money there because their currency is weaker, but sort of balances out.
It balances out.
Yeah.
Anyway, bro.
You don't have to wipe it. Maybe a toilet, but old man, UK. Because UK things are expensive and people are willing to go through that because that's where the money is.
That's where the money is.
You gotta do whatever.
Fashion. Aren't you, like you said, you're inspired by punk rock, like a lot of it. Aren't you afraid of being hard to relate to?
That's
being in this market.
It's always going to be hard to relate to if you kind of pigeonhole yourself to say I'm a Zimbabwean designer. It's always going to be hard for people to relate to you because the people that relate to you, like locals that relate to you, oh, this punk rock, no, this satanism, throw it away in the bin. That's how they're going to see you. That's how most Zimbabweans are going to look at your stuff.
Is that what you've had to deal with?
I have had to deal with something like that, but then it's kind of, it gets to a point where I'm like, I know myself.
Yeah, because your stuff with Cozy and even like that shit is horror,
yes,
bro. Like
even the name, like Sex Sounds Asylum. What,
bro? Like
first of all, Sex Sounds Asylum. Like that is
like, here's the thing. Like I said, I'm a historian and I like etymology. So etymology is like the study of words and where they originate. So depending on where the word originates, that's what it means. Now, money, we can talk about money. Money, where is money stored? A bank. What is a bank? A river bank. So money flows.
Currency flows.
You see, currency flows. It's like water. That's how money is supposed to be. If you touch it, you can't touch it again. That's how it's supposed to be. That's why we have banks, we have things like that. So you have to follow the word to know what money really is, what currency is.
Even merchant ships,
dealerships.
Okay.
Think about
getting educated right now.
The term vandalism. There used to be a German clan, German tribe called the Vandals.
The Vandals.
So the Vandals, you see how they are. They always used to go there and they would mess shit up.
Yeah.
And how they would leave it. They leave it so bad to the point where people ended like, how do they know they've been here? The vendors were here. Oh, vendor lies. Then that's how the term came. So for me, it's always that thing like, okay, words have a meaning. Let's not just say words. Let's put meaning. Sex sounds asylum. Sex, when the term sex was put out, it was before the term gender. Sex was basically a distinction of male or female. That's what sex was.
Yeah.
But as time went on, intercourse, coitus, all of this was now termed sex. It became easier for that.
So it meant both things. It meant gender and the act of
what comes through.
Of coitus,
and then another reference that I'll take for sex, one of my favorite designers, Vivienne Westwood, she used to do punk rock. She died about 2 years back.
Yeah.
Punk rock. Her first shop, it was called Sex. You see, literally Sex in Broadway. SEX. That's all.
Yeah.
That's there. And they used to do just like punk rock. They're the ones that dressed. I want to say the Beatles, but for some reason I feel like I'm wrong there. But basically, like
those guys are always confusing. The Beatles, Rolling Stones, and them. Yeah, so
that's kind of the thing. But it was basically something for punk rebellion. That's sex. Sound. However, sound is that sound.
Yeah.
But if we actually take it back to how I see words, you can actually see sound. How can you see sound? I'm a huge football fan.
Yeah.
And everyone who watches football probably watches the Premier League.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic moments of the Premier League is when Aguero scores, I think it's a 90-second winner with 90 seconds to go when they were
for their first trophy.
Everyone, when you see that picture is sound, because everyone, when they see it,
they know.
You hear Aguero!
Yeah.
Aguero! Then Aguero!
You see, that's sound.
Okay,
so you see, it's something that is manufactured, something that can be made. That's how I feel sound to be. That's how sound is defined. Asylum used to be a safe haven. Initially, when the term asylum came through, it was to be a safe haven for criminals. For criminals.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, it ended up being a safe haven for people who were mentally disturbed or had mental illness or mental challenges. Asylum. So sex sounds asylum. Sex, you get it from Vivienne Westwood. You get it from the distinction of male or female. You get it from the actual act of coitus. Sounds, what can be produced or manufactured. Asylum, it's a safe haven. So sex criminals. Sounds asylum, depending of where I am, how I give it. There's that answer that you give for investors, why are you dying to create? You have that answer. There's that answer when you're in the studio, the boys say, I'm just playing around, fooling around, just provocation. But for me, it's kind of how I put it, the general or the middle ground of it. It's sex sounds asylum basically means the standing for what gender or what male and female can do for the human race. So it's basically a safe haven to manufacture or create the possibility of human race. How that then comes to, you then say, our main thing is fashion, but we're artists. So how are we artists? We do a lot of things. Like for what I'm working on right now, I have been doing all of my sound, but from like this one starting this year, I have Larynx, the producer.
Oh, when you say sound, you mean like
actual soundtrack? It's going to be Larynx. So it's kind of like you can see different ways. We've had canvases done by Team Art.
We actually have Larynx tomorrow coming through.
That's crazy. We spoke about it last week.
Oh, right.
Because we were working and then we're speaking about it. I was like, I'm trying to see when I can slot in. And then he was like, I'm actually going there on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm like,
I guess I asked you, I hit you up guys at the same time.
It's quite crazy. So it's things like that.
Crazy.
The coincidence.
I don't believe in coincidence. Yeah. But sometimes I guess it is what it is. These things just happen. That's why it's a coincidence.
So it's things like that. Sound will be coming from Larynx mainly. I'm trying to, how can I put it? To put it more as a business, because there is always that balance. Yeah. That equilibrium point that you're trying to create, where you can be creatively but also sustain yourself business-wise.
You can't do everything, right? Like
so, because is the more you grow or the more you're trying to grow, the more you can't touch and through. So I'm trying to put, I can't say safeguards, but I'm trying to put people that have the ability to like change the world. I'm like, bro, this is what we're working with. I try giving very vague details so that someone has power to be themselves.
So that they can relate to the work, whichever way they feel, instead of being influenced by what you've said.
So like I can get you like a topic and the theme and that, and then I leave it like that. won't give you pictures or what I'm trying to say or what this word means. That's for you and your thing. And then you produce something that goes along with that, or that you think goes along with that. And then for me, I'll know, oh, okay, cool. I like this, but let's remove this. I like this, let's remove this. Okay, what if we did this, but we flip it upside down? Oh, okay, the start of this song, can we change it, put it to the back? Oh, the drums, okay, it's okay. Give me the FL file, I'll go do it at home. I'll bring it back.
How important is music in your work?
I think it's very important because that's what shows people what you're trying to do.
Like it brings the whole picture together.
It brings it together. It's kind of like my runways are not catwalk where people just walk straight. It's all like a screenplay. Let me put it that way. We have 3-4 rehearsals. Tell you, you're going to be walking this way. You're going to go here, do a toe here. You're going to do this. Yeah, there's going to be a coffin, so you have to go around it. You see, that type of stuff. And how can you put the mood and make everything? It's the music. I had the pleasure of working with the Serpent guitar artist. He's actually working on his debut for his band.
The Serpent.
His band is Welcome to the Funhouse, but he also is in Vantu Spaceships with like the Uleni, the electric guitar. So last time when I was out, we actually had him playing live and he was shredding. So him putting that aggressive distortion for music, you could see it linked with the way the models are walking. It then links with some of the clothes because you're like, oh, why is he moving so aggressively? Why is it like he's against the wall? Oh, he's no more playing. There's now something more soft. Why is this? Oh, there is this term blackbird that is being thrown away. Why is it blackbird? Oh, the song is singing blackbird. Oh, there's a blazer written blackbird. It all kind of comes.
You really put a lot of thought into your stuff, man. I gotta admit, man, that the way you explain Sex Sounds and the history behind it, the Vivian Westwood, man, that's some of the dopest shit I've heard in a while, bro.
So, like, yeah,
I like that. Because I'm a huge hip hop fan, and I always believe that a good hip hop artist has a very deep well of knowledge when it comes to the music. I like to decipher the music and whatnot. So to see that you do the same with your work, like it's not, when I'm just looking at your outfit, I don't just have to look at it and think, this guy's wearing a tie and
what's going on?
So much that can
layers.
Explain from that layers. I'm like, that is super dope. So you're not worried about being relatable. Like when people see you, like, where's the leopard print? Did you just put a small leopard print or a cow print, so that we know?
Yeah, look out. Yeah. The problem with trying, I actually wanted to work with like prints, African prints.
Yeah.
But then you try to get the fabric, and then the only place where you can get it, and the cost. Okay, let me put it this way. The cost was, you see, a square meter, right?
Yeah.
It's not even a full meter, but a square meter.
Yeah.
It was going for about 120 USD for a square meter. To make a belt, you need, okay, you can work with the square meter, but it becomes hard because you now have to cut and try and join, and there's always going to be this funny dysfunction joint.
Yeah.
But then you can just go and get genuine leather that's already done and treated from people, and they're telling you something like 25 USD. So it's kind of that thing that you're kind of looking at the monetary terms. I know as it stands right now, I cannot put 10,000 out, like 10,000 USD. I'm like, oh, I'll put this on a show, and if it flops, it flops. I don't care.
Yeah.
I can't do that now because it won't be sustainable.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
There are the things like maybe I can be like, oh, okay, we can do 3,000 maximum. So one way or the other, everything has to fit in the 3,000. That's the reason why we're very selective with what we sell and what we don't sell. And that's the reason why we haven't even been putting websites up. Because I want it
for Sex Sounds.
Yeah, for Sex Sounds. It's kind of it's more of that thing of, oh, if you're there, you're there. You know. Like,
so where do we get that?
That's the thing. But then I'm working on something. And it's gonna be more out in the world. So I'm just gonna give you a short synopsis of what it is. So it's like a winter 24 collection with over 40 models or over 40 looks.
All right.
We're still trying to get the final number. As it stands, it's either we're on 44 or on 69. One of the two.
All right.
Everything has to have somehow correlate. 44 is a way that it correlates. 69 is, it also has a way it correlates to the name.
To the name of Sex Asylum.
So
I was about to ask 69, my nigga.
you see,
all right, no.
This winter collection, it's titled ATTTA. ATTTA is kind of an abbreviation, and
ATTTA, ATA or
ATTTA. So it's ATTTA, but it's for people that are going to be in it, mostly working in close. Those are the people who tell what the abbreviation. But it's for everyone else, bro. Make up your own thing. Art is supposed to make you feel something. So I don't want to tell you everything. You just come feel for yourself. Make up your own, ATTA. Maybe it's I went somewhere, or make your own. It's for you it's for you to make up and decide what it means. So when we do that, we're gonna put some of our things on sale. We're still trying to see how best we can do it. We're thinking of 1 week showroom in Bulawayo, another 1 week showroom in Harare. Kind of for everyone to kind of see the collection of people. It's just clothes hanging. You get to see the fabric, you get to touch it, you see how it is, and then probably from there you can pre-order.
So what's your style? Is it more streetwear? Is it luxurious streetwear? Is it?
That's the thing. I think it's hard, but ever since I started, I always used to call myself an avant-garde designer. Avant-garde, it's more or less forward-thinking, experimental. Reason being, this collection is what's going to really show who I am in my work. Reason why I'm saying that, it's because, how can I put this? I haven't been designing for Sex Sounds. Let me put it that way. I've been creative directing. Why I say that, I've been creating something for you to see. So it's because the first time we did Shades of Black, what did I do? I showed you the silhouettes of the fashion house. We did intentional assifraction. We showed you the colors of the house. We did Blackbird. We showed you the story of the house. So I feel like I've given you here and there some cherry pickings. Okay, if I can look at all these 4 or 5 collections and I take them together, it all kind of ties into that video that we did with Coz, that is written a rite of passage. That video, as you can see, it's kind of a journey. It's someone on a rite of passage, that female, the model. So it's kind of everything else is going there for it to come to this show that I'm doing. And then this show is where I'm going to more or less showcase what my work is. Because I've realized most people have been I've had this conversation with some people. They're like, we think we are good, but we think you're holding back. I'm like, bro, I haven't started. So it's okay.
So warm up.
It's okay. Let's get it.
So would you consider yourself a disruptor? You guys with Cozy, do you guys intentionally just go out there to piss people off? I remember when we came for Cozy's show at
Alliance.
At Alliance, one of the people I was with was like, I can't watch this. It failed. So I'm like, are you guys doing intentionally stuff to piss people off, or you're going the extra mile for the clout, like you said, or walk me through that?
With Cozy,
because it's real horror, bro. Stuff people be like, no roya, there's Satanism, what you said.
From jump, me and Cozy, one thing that we always agreed on that we always kind of linked on was intentionality. Everything from the little button to the choice to the location to the color grading to the sound, it's all intentional. Why is it intentional?
And what's the intention?
You see, that's the thing. I feel I'm a huge fan of, like I said, I'm a historian. There is what we call propaganda. That's one thing that I feel that's the easiest way for us to put our work out. Propaganda. But it's not saying we are pissing you off. No, that's our way of telling you the truth as the truth without trying. Yes, they'll have some edits that can make you start thinking, this color grade looks off. Why is it like this, that? Oh, that. Actually, there is this video, short video that Kozi did for my presentation in Kweru. So it's like the color grade changes from purple to red to blue to brown, then it's black and white. So it makes people like, why is it like that? It's like a psychedelic dream. Now imagine you have your psychosis dream, but then it's actual real life. That's how life is. So when we do all of this, it's not us saying, yo, screw you. This is us kind of being intentional about it. This is how we see the world. That's how we are painting a picture for you. But because we do that, we're not gonna cherry pick every detail and tell you this is a reference from here. That's why
figure it out on your own if you want to.
If you want to, that's the thing. Because everyone, it's art. Why is it art?
Art doesn't need to be explained.
It doesn't need to be explained. And obviously, the horror genre, it's always something. I feel everyone kind of says we can't make horror films in Zim. We can't make sci-fi in Zim. Zimbabwe does not have artists. I feel if we were like for now, I actually like. That's why when you called me that time, I was like, let me just clear everything and then get back to you. You're creating a space for people to actually notice the art and the artists. That's why I was saying we have Vogue runway. Vogue always posts runways and stuff like that. And because they do that, you are forced to kind of look at their fashion and see how it's going forward. You're forced to look at their art. Zimbabwe have this problem where we have artists that are now big abroad, but locally you treat them like they're nothing. You see?
Is that because maybe they don't have the roots? They were not given the visibility that they needed in their grassroots. So it's now harder for people to relate, or it's already too late. The bus has left the station.
I feel the people that I feel like it's now too late. One person that I always respect locally as a designer is Danai Madondo. She is House of Stone. That's where you see, that's, how can I put it? Yes, we can cherry pick and say, if we're being critical, it doesn't showcase every year. There are gaps in a career, the gaps in the house. Okay, but let's look at the story. What's the story? Oh shit, there's a conscious wanderer who keeps on looking for betterment. We can see from the things that she does, can see from the colors, they don't change. The tailoring, magnificent. It's people like her, she has been showcasing out of the country for some time. Maybe it's because she learned out of the country. It's okay. But now people locally, they don't appreciate her. And those that are starting to appreciate her, some can't afford their stuff. There's always that conversation. Because someone's going to say, sell me a shirt for $5. There is no shirt in Zimbabwe that you can get for $5. Unless you're going to thrift. So it now comes, I'm going to make a shirt maybe with the cost of production, 30 USD. The cost of production is 30 USD. How much is a fair price for me to sell it to you?
60.
20.
You see?
In Bulawayo, 20.
Maybe, okay, he's going to say 20. You're saying 60. And I'll put the price at 60. Everyone is going to come, is going to say, do you take swipe?
Or even just to say a shirt.
60. You see, I can get this.
What they're gonna do? I wear this for a few months and it's fading.
What they're gonna do? They take their phone, they take a picture, they go to their tailor. The tailor is gonna go and make a shit rip-off or a replica. They're gonna wait and still say they bought it from me.
That must be such a big struggle.
And you're gonna
in the
be
fashion industry, though.
Fucking hell! How do I stop it? There are things that you really can't stop.
If our biggest rapper is doing that,
bro, you see,
It's insane. Like if you, you see Volts with the Balenciaga ripoff. That was a Balenciaga item, right?
That was a bit cheap, man.
That is sad, unfortunately.
I kind of have to stand on that one because the guy who stars Volts is kind of the homie. So I kind of have to stand on business on that one. But he's the guy. How can I put it?
No, I'm not saying, I'm not hating on it. I understand why it had to happen that way.
I mean, he just missed one detail. That's what messed it up.
No, a knockoff is always going to be a knockoff no matter what you do. Right? All I'm just saying is I understand why things have to be that way. Why it has to happen that way. I'm just saying it's kind of unfortunate that it's a thing that's on the ground.
True.
But how are you handling it then? Because you now have to fight those ripoffs, and you're a creative that's working in an environment that's literally not conducive financially. You're an entrepreneur, right? How are you balancing the monies? Like you need to create high quality product. But for you to sell that high quality product, bro, like
it's crazy. The easiest way I can tell you is we've been, for the past 2 years, we've actually been developing a way, like our product distribution plan.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, like, in as much as people will be like, I don't want to walk into Edgar's because Edgar's is expensive and what.
Yeah.
If I put my garment in Edgar's, even if you don't buy it, the fact that it's in Edgar's, you're gonna go and look for it, whether on Instagram or like, oh, okay. The reason I try avoiding online stores, the routing of the money is always going to be a problem. We tried doing that, sold some stuff. In your mind, you're telling yourself, I've got 1,000. The bank is telling me it's on negative. I'm trying to find what's
the issue there?
The issue was the guy who did the website. He routed it to him.
Oh.
Now I am going to go and look for him. People are like, open a police case. I'm like, I'll be very honest with you guys. The police work tirelessly, but these types of cases, they never.
Yeah.
It's one of those, you keep on going to court until you're like, is it really worth it though?
And then court, you know, especially with these money things, especially if it's money that has to be paid, they'll just tell you, go to small claims court, tell each other how much you're how you're gonna pay each other, and if the guy says I can only afford to pay you $10 a month,
and that's it.
That's
now imagine when are you gonna get to like 1,000?
Like 1,000.
Bro, it's like after a year plus. So it's things like that. So we're trying to find a way that we can offer. Trying to talk to some of the quote unquote big
retailers.
At the same time, trying to talk to the big what you guys call it, like your EcoNet, your EcoCash. You're trying to get those people in, and if you can get them, it's easier for someone like, okay, you do EcoCash money, and all right, maybe our shirt is going 20 USD. Just hit us EcoCash. It's easier that way. But if we route it like directly, where we say just send money, we're always going to have problems of, there's been a few years back, there were these things like EcoCash scams, where someone creates a fake receipt and they say they sent it, and you're now kind of in a situation like, do I give him, and then I write it down and I try to go claim, or maybe the money bounced. There are now just too many problems, you see. So you kind of trying to find a way that your distribution plan doesn't inconvenience you, but it also doesn't inconvenience your customer. Because to be honest, in Zimbabwe, we do have people that can afford to buy a shirt for 200 USD. They are there. The other people that I feel like should be really supporting this are your quote unquote, your Forex traders. Homies are saying they're making thousands, but you're wearing a fake Dior shirt. But you can come and buy a SEXSOUNDS thing. Why are you doing that? Like, it's that thing, but just because he gets the bag.
And also because maybe you're just a local guy, you don't have the clout out there.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, like, if we get to actually sitting down and we kind of, as an industry, and we all can talk to each other like, yo, listen, let's do it this way. And then maybe we can get an answer that helps everyone. But as it stands right now, I'm just looking out for my team and what we can do.
So is the Pacific item that you won, the Pacific competition that you won at the Scare and Strobo item, helping with that, like with figuring out how you can make money from your work?
Yeah, we've had that conversation, but then there's also like a collaboration. What everyone wants to see, no one wants to hear about the business part, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to see the actual output. Because I know, like, here's the thing, I'll be honest about that. No one wanted me to win the thing, and it's okay.
What do you mean no one wanted you?
I arrived on, I think it was a Tuesday or Wednesday, when we're supposed to do the these videos that came out after.
Yeah.
And you know, when you get there and full of HARARE creatives, I'm coming from Bulawayo.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he's that dude. How did that dude even make it
into the lineup?
Oh, and then so everyone kind of had this thing. They're like,
you're the only Bulawayo.
Yeah, was the only, everyone else was like Harare. You see, so everyone kind of had this thing. Is like, oh, why him? And then people were like, oh, Nobunaga, isn't that the guy from Kozi? They go to Kozi trying to find out like, what does he do? What has he done? What do you think he did? And I was like, oh, okay. So I knew from jump when they announced it, and I was like, okay. No one is gonna want you to win it. So
no one expects you to.
No one expects you to win it.
Yeah.
So how do you piss off everyone? Make sure you win it, and that was the mindset. Everyone, when I sent my portfolio, like the application, the last page I'd actually written what I was gonna do. I think they just read it and maybe they laughed. They're like, "There's no way this is possible." I literally wrote Pacific idea for the competition. And it was like 6 lines. It's like, I'm going to make a lightweight jacket that can be turned into a bag, that can be worn in any weather, that can be used to carry your light things, your cigarettes, your smokes, everything. And that, just hearing those lines,
is called convertible fashion.
You see, everyone is going to be like,
I learned about that when I was researching that. Like
so,
convertible fashion.
You see, it's like that. So everyone is going to kind of look at it and like, even if you read it, you're like, I want to see this, but it's not possible. It's probably going to look funny. And then we had to make sure we do it. So that jacket, if you see it, it's a 3-in-1 jacket. So there is a silver, which is kind of like the different blend of suiting. It's hard to find, but you can get it if you know your corners and you know your people. You can get it. Yeah, just network, like I told you. Network.
Yeah, I mean, you already have your roots.
There was that outside, so I wanted to make it like cropped. Why did I want to make it cropped? Proportions. When you're looking at something, it always looks nicer when you have pants that are like 2/3, jacket 1/3. So okay, cool. Made the jacket, made the outside. I'm like, okay, I want to make this into a bag. I wanted to put it in such a way that we had zippers, like 2 visible zippers on the inside, where if you just zip, you can pull out like what you call this, your satchel like things, the arms. And then like while working on it, you kind of see like, nah. This is basic. Let's switch it up. So they sent everyone like a meter of the Pacific fabric. And it was like that t-shirting that people you usually see in like downtown.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't say cheap, but then it's a very hard one to work with because it loses color easily. It bumps on the thread on a machine. It always gathers up. So the easiest thing to do with that thing is either you're going to do a t-shirt or you're going to do a pair of gloves. For me, it was a situation that when the fabric came in late, because obviously in Bulawayo, everyone is in Harare. They have to send it through. You see, I'm like, okay, it's okay. So when it came through, it actually made my mind easy. I'm like, okay, I can't use this as a shell because that's what everyone is probably going to do. So I'll put it as the second side of the jacket. So after you did that, like the body part, I was like, okay, now I need arms. Arms with this fabric will look too much green. It will look funny. You want something that at the end, even if I am to wait, I can wait on a daily. Anyone can wait. You can sell it as a jacket. So I made the plain white arms. Then it was like, oh, okay, cool. How can we then make this into a bag? In my mind, I'm like, you already promised people a bag. You need to follow through a bag. I'm like, nah, let's make a tote bag. Because that's what's hot in the streets. They make tote bags. So there's a way somehow that you can pull
and you figure
and then it becomes a bag. Now you have a tote bag.
A smoking gun.
Yeah, done. Then I was like, pants. You know what? Let me go back to what the 90s looked. See, Japan historian.
Yeah.
There used to be these pants, multifunctional pants, where they are 3-in-1 pants. So they're like high waist pants. And then if you open the zipper, they become shorts. And then if you open, they can become 3/4. If you want, there's a part where if you open a zipper, you can join them to make it a skirt. I'm like, nah, I want something like that. Let's make it all. I'm like, time wasn't on my side, I'll be honest. I was having problems with electricity. I was having problems trying to make the stuff. I had to work with a generator for like 3 hours just to make it. So I was like, okay, there we go. Made the pants. Like, okay, now let's make it. Let's not even bother ourselves. Made it like that. Had to hand stitch kind of the buckles when we got there. So when we got there, we did Speak was supposed to do a shoot. Didn't do the shoot. Shoot, I think, was the next day. So what there, all these like Harare creatives models. Then I hear people talking, oh, there's Fungi, Mzorodze. Like, no shade. Fungi is now, her name is up there. Yeah. People now know it. So everyone was kind of like, Fungi is going to smoke you.
Yeah.
Jax is known as kind of a streetwear god in Harare. Upcoming. So they're like, there's Jax from Rosebowl. It's going to smoke you. And then we had Ray Enders. Ray Enders makes fucking amazing work. He's young, but he makes amazing work. I saw his collection after. Oh, masterpiece. So I didn't know Ray. So I kind of was like, okay, everyone in their mind said like, see that it's going to Jax, it's going that side. So I'm more or less the underdog. And then there's Rory. People, here's the thing. Everyone, I don't know why, but Rory is always a wild card. You get it?
Nah.
So in my mind, I just told myself, like, listen, I never focus on other people, because even if I focus on them, they're not going to give me anything. So I was like, let me just make sure I make the best project, and I know for a fact.
Were you confident though? How confident were you?
People won't see this, but that's my cousin who's sitting there, right? Ask him what I said the day I left. I told everyone, I'm like, when I'm going there, I'm winning this. Day before, I told Kozi, I'm like, this one, if I lose, something was done here. I hadn't seen what everyone done. It's kind of, I feel when it comes to work, if you're an artist or a designer in this creative field, you have to have this kind of narcissism that snaps in when time is needed. It's kind of like hip hop. J. Cole and Kendrick will all be like, nah, we're all cool, but every time in their verses, you can hear they all kind of say, I'm the GOAT. So for me, that's how I kind of see everything. So I was not at that point.
Are you competitive like that?
Yeah, I have a background of sports, so
hey,
I have to
if you love football, you have to be.
You see, I've played football, cricket, so all of these things, they kind of come back to that thing. From the background, how I grew up, I played sports a lot. Yeah. So I'm always going to be a competitive. Always have to be. When it's time to go, it's time to go. In the tunnel, we're all shaking hands, la-di-dad. I hope you win. I hope you win. When we're on this, faces change.
Game face.
That's why I always tell people, it's like, there's Nobu and there's Naga.
Damn.
These are all under
Mr. High type of shit.
So Nobu is kind of the light side. He's a cool guy. He's the one who does for Mayor Sportswear and Luxury. He'll come, shake hands, everything. Naga is a different beast. He comes in, he wants to kill. That's the dark side. That's the side that does SEXSOUNDS AĽYLUM. That's why every time when I showcase, I can tell you, okay, let's look at intricacies if you want to do it. It looks like it's a plain black dress, but it has a twist on the front. How was a garment made in such a way that it's a spiral? Why does it have this flower loop, but it's one fabric? Why does it one seam, but it's a whole gown? It's that thing that I kind of like, okay, cool. If you want us to talk in that way, this is the guy you talk to.
This is the guy you talk to.
So Kozi always says Naga was the one who killed the government side of me. He's like, because Naga is one that will come with the hair in like 3, 4, 5 different colors and some Dennis Rodman shit. And it's like, nah, let's battle it out. Let's fight. You see? So that's from that. That's why I always, when I go to those type of competitions, Nobunaga will come and protect both entities. He's the one that controls. And depending on what is needed, you let the one go. Naga goes, he does his thing.
So at the scare and struggle, that was Naga there.
So that was Naga just doing. And I wanted to do in my colors for Naga, which is usually your blacks and what. But I was like, these guys, they're mainly on white, green, and red. So let me go something that would shock everyone. So that was kind of silhouettes from one mind infused with the colors of another mind joined together. So this is where you kind of, if it was Kanye West, where Kanye is like, there is Kanye West, there's Ye, there's Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus comes out to play and you're like, oh, black skinhead. Ye comes out, he's just talking about his feelings, but he's still on some bullshit. Yeah. So it's kind of that thing. It's that balance that I always try.
What was it like before and after you win?
It's crazy. It's quite crazy. I left there, we finished, right? Now here's how the schedule was crazy. They had said everyone who's showcasing come for, they said come for rehearsals in the morning.
Yeah.
At 11, pulled up at 11. And for something, I left my hotel room. I'm like, let me just carry the thing. So I had the homies that passed through the hotel room. Then we went together.
Yeah.
Go to the spot. The rehearsals took time until it was like 12:30 and the time for when the actual thing was starting. Yeah. And then suddenly I'm being called by Marcus, energy doctor. He's like, yo, pull up 2 seconds. I want to talk to you. I thought he just wants to tell me something. Ah, shit. It's a Pacific thing. Where's your outfit for Pacific? So if I had just left it saying I'm coming for rehearsals, I'll be screwed. I put it on there. And then when he left me, it's like 10 minutes. I left to go and get the actual other clothes for Sex Sounds because they're in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Now I had to go and get like 3 other collections that I was showcasing that day. And then, Harare traffic. On our way,
yeah.
Uleni calls me. He's like, where are you? The judges are deliberating. There's one person left in front of you. You're supposed to be the first one. You're now on number 5. If they finish and they don't get to speak to you, there's a high chance you're losing this.
All right.
I got there when the last person was now finishing. I had to run to the back. Then I get there. Then I have to tell my story. What was your inspiration? It's like, man, Pacific's motto is limitless possibilities. So that made it easier for me. I'm like, the story is limitless possibilities. A jacket that can change into anything that you want it to.
Transformer of a jacket.
Pants that can change into anything, anywhere. So it kind of then all just tied together. Did the showcasing. We won. After they announced that, right, you're kind of happy.
Yeah.
But then the moment I left the stage, it was time for runways. I had 2 other collections there that needed to be done. And I think I had 5 minutes to try to get all models prepped for the first one. Then I had another 10 minutes to get the Sex Sounds runway that I had about 21 looks. So yeah, it was quite crazy. But hey, when you finish, you're just tired. I was tired. I think Daniel Moods pulled up at the end of the thing. I was like, congrats. So son, want to, but I was
and the love and the respect, did it change a bit? The funny looks.
I mean, like, it's always gonna change. That's how it is. Unfortunately, I am a huge fan of competitions because I feel that's the easiest way to grow an industry because you're forcing everyone to put their best foot forward.
Yeah.
And when that happens, everyone is gonna level up. Someone is gonna win, yes, get money, get a contract. You're going to lose. You feel down. It's hard to fake love. I realized afterwards, yes, people will be like, congrats, but everyone wants to win. So you can't then try to hang out with the same person the whole day because you're kind of like that bad memory.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that thing like, oh, nah, man, mutual respect. You did your thing. Unfortunately, so-and-so had to win. It's how life goes on. Let's wait for the next one. If they can do something else like that, I feel like it helps. Because you keep on you've not got a corporate trying to be in fashion.
Yeah. How important is it for corporates to be supporting you guys?
I think it's very important because corporates always want a way to market themselves.
Yeah.
You can get fashion. Fashion can be tied in with literally anything. Because fashion, I feel like, unlike the old stuff with like we're saying the Hitler clothes that are put in museums, I feel fashion must not be put in art galleries in museums. This is utility wear. This is what everyone wears on a daily. Because we're different people, we're going to wear different styles. Yeah. But this is stuff that is worn on a daily.
So stuff we use every day.
We use every day. So it then means it's like oxygen. You cannot walk out of the house naked. Unfortunately, that's not the case. You need oxygen to survive. You need clothes to go out.
So is that something you're aware of when you're designing? Like, I mean, someone will look at you and be like, I can't wear this every day.
That's the thing. Like, you have to also get it in a situation like, oh, what am I like? we have, that's why you see the Cristobal, Balenciagas, your Dior's, those guys, their fashion shows, you see like the ties, the suits and all. But in the store, they're selling those shirts that you see that are being ripped off. Why? You have to get to a moment like an equilibrium where like this is where anyone can wear this, and this is for our so-called model that we think the people that we're trying to market to. So it's that thing that I always try to get it like in every collection. Let there be 2 or 3 shirts that anyone, because that's what you're gonna sell more. Your accessories, that's what you're gonna sell more. Why? People want something they can feel like they invested in. They have a piece of your work, but it's not taking them out of who they are.
I get that. Like, why do you think that we have, like, the fashion industry in Zim is small, but in Harare it might be small, but it's very active. It's robust. We know all these names: the Rose Bowl. We know the characters, the Jaxes, the Fungais, the Danaimadodo, the Corrupt. Like, we know all these characters, but then here, it's not to say that you guys are not there. You are there. For people who are interested in knowing, you will know the people that are trying to push that item forward. So what's the difference? Why did you have to go to Harare just to win that? To showcase. Why not here?
I feel Harare is, like the name entails, Harare.
Yeah.
It's a city that doesn't sleep. It's a city that is always working. And it's a city that acclimatizes because it's so fast. They're quick to adjust to whatever it is. That's the reason why even you can go to Copacabana dressed in suits or shorts or ripped jeans or whatever.
Yeah.
And no one is going to say anything because they're now used to it. They've realized, okay, this is still a customer, but this is their fashion. This is the generation that's there.
So it takes them, they're quick to adopt to whatever they see in front of them. They're like, oh, okay, that's different. Oh, that's funny, but let's keep it moving.
Look like you came out of Thriller.
It's things like that, bro. So I feel they're quick to adapt, which makes it easier. Now, how do you then put it? I feel people in Harare, they are more on the one way or the other, I want to put my shit out. Bulawayo, it's a bit more toxic. Designers don't want to support designers. Designers think they're better than other designers.
But that's the competition you wanted, no?
I like that. I actually love that because I'm like, oh, I'm trying to put you on and you're shitting on me. It's okay. Let's go. So I always like this because Bulawayo designers, they like showcasing in Harare because that's where the biggest thing is.
That's where they get the validation. Is that so?
Yeah. Skin Strobo now more or less, it's like a seal of approval. You showcased there. But how do you get that seal of approval? Okay, what time slot did you showcase? What did people say after you showcased? That's where the seal of approval is. Because Uleni, Marcus, Nyasha, Jecha, there's a very cool people that always try to support you and be on you and try to understand your work. But the streets are always going to be honest with you.
Yeah, this is shit. So
you see, that's why I always say, let's go where you guys think you're up there, and let's see when you showcase and I showcase who comes out on top. That's how I always feel. And I always say this to most designers locally. I'm like, if it's a situation like that, we can take the same fabric and run it up and let's see who wins. Why everyone in Bulawayo, we're full of the same type of designer. Right now, everyone who is going to be a designer in Bulawayo has denim. That's what you see in their pages, denim, because they're customizing. Those that are actually trying to do something different, it's like they're afraid to go to other fabrics because denim is what is selling.
So are we seeing denim because everyone is trying to be a Richard Jeans?
Hey, you see, the same way you say Richard Jeans, I'm going to come and say there's Yet Galo, which is Shafi. You see?
Yeah, I don't know him.
You see, that's my boy. That's Blood. He does denim. He does denim. That's his main. Even Richard.
No, like I'm just saying, like Richard is the easily identifiable one and is the one who's popping. So when people see that's what's popping, they're also gonna want to be like, let's jump on the wave instead of being innovative enough to say, nah.
It's what do you find is most designers right now are chasing money and not sustainability. That's where the problem is. Sustainability is something that comes over a long period of time. Money is something that you get for each thing you sell. So someone, let's say you bought a pair of pants at thrift for this side, things are expensive. Let's say a pair of jeans for 5 USD. You go, you get it like customized for like maybe 3 USD. And maybe you put your bleach, let's put $1, transport $1, that's 10 USD.
Yeah.
You can sell that for 15 USD. That's cool, but then what's the difference? I can't tell if this is yours or that. I can tell a corrupt shirt from Jump. Besides even the corrupt thing, you can tell because it's different. That's one thing you all kind of have to individuality. That's what art is. That's what fashion is.
Yeah.
You can use the same fabric, but just from looking at it, you have to be able to tell that that's Richard jeans. That's Hiet.
That's Rose Bowl.
That's Rose Bowl. You see, like that's the thing. I feel Rose Bowl, like Rose Bowl, is actually crazy, and there's this new wave they entered, like Rose Bowl 2.0. Like that's something I'm really trying to see, like how they go with, how they push it, because it's interesting. I was looking at it from the caps. I think I've put like 2 or 3 caps, and it's like the same design, just different things. But it's how much I mess with that thing. I'm like, oh shit. This is something I really hope to see they do something.
Bought them cash.
Bro, cash.
Yeah, if someone wants your stuff, you know, how far, Nobu? Please give me a discount.
Bro. Like, you see, it's that thing. And, you know, they're actually quite affordable. You need to know that there is asking price for saying, this is my name. I am raw when I'm corrupt. This is what my name is worth, and this is the product. The product and the name have to come to a price that makes sense. You can't sell a shirt for, let's say, 100 USD, but it's a $2 quality shirt with a graphic for $3. Sell it for 20 USD so that if I wash it and it loses shape, color fades away, I can understand. But now people want to put their name where it's not supposed to be. Yeah, that's why it's easier for people to try bypass them, go out. That's why I try to bypass to get investors out, then bring them back in. But when I bring them in, I'm like, okay, cool. I had someone who was in a few weeks ago. Those that saw, they saw. Those that were met up with. I'm trying to put you on, but then if you shine, not knowing where the guy who's next to me is, that's your fault. I'm trying to put you on. I'm like, tell him about yourself. You're like, bro, I'm just pushing 1 or 2 things. He's gonna be like, oh, okay, cancel him. You see? But I feel like now we're at a point where everyone kind of feels like we are at the beginning of the hype of fashion.
Yeah.
I think we're still about 5 years behind. Reason why I say that.
What's Harare?
Not Harare. I'm saying as a nation.
As a nation.
We're like 5 years behind.
the world. Really?
Yeah.
Not 20?
No. It's a lot, but I'm saying we're 5 years behind the starting line. Let me put it that way. Why I'm saying that, how a fashion show is done, each house or each brand has to host their own fashion show. This is where the starting line. Brands are hosting their own thing. Whether it's Zim Fashion Week, it's Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Paris Fashion Week, people think it's one location. It's not one location. It's basically just saying they're going to be shows in Paris in this week. That's what Paris Fashion Week is. It's different location, different houses. Each one hosts his own, each one invites their own press.
Oh yeah.
So now
it's not just one house hosting everyone.
Let's come. You see, that's where the problem is. Means we're already back because people were doing it under one. Okay, people are making things from scratch. They're pushing. They're getting buyers to come to their show. Another step back. Oh, people are doing this for sustainability. There's a brand story. There is a vision. You can see it and how it continues. The motifs. Another step back. So you see, these are all years we're going back. Yeah. We have to get to a point where like, oh, our brands are telling stories and we know what the story is, you know what it's going.
Yeah.
There's people like, there are people that I don't even know that I've seen on and I was like, this is cool. There is Natai in Harare.
Natai, I've seen that.
There is Richard Jeans. Really hope he can do something like quite crazy soon. There is Javi, I've already told you that's yet Galo. We have White Rabbits community. They are pushing something already. Bulawayo has creatives. And if you want to see that it's painful, the people that are running Scare and Strobo, those are all Bulawayo boys.
Yeah.
But why do they have to go to Harare to make it work? It's a conversation we all have to ask ourselves and be honest with ourselves. It's a toxic environment. Right now, if tomorrow we say we're having a show,
it's a toxic environment between individuals, us, and then also with the corporates. The relationship is also toxic, is it not?
It is. That's the thing. Right now, if you say who's willing to make a loss to open doors for someone else, everyone's gonna be like, I've got a family, I've got rent.
It seems easier for corporates to invest in Harare creatives than it is for creatives here.
Yeah, you see. And what sucks is you see a business leaving Bulawayo to go to Harare to go host and sponsor those, and then you wonder, are you saying we don't have tastemakers in Bulawayo? Because that's the thing. Every time I go to Harare, the people that I'm looking at.
When you say tastemakers, what do you mean?
Tastemakers, people that create can't even say a hype, but people that have something that is different and create a different...
Like people who set the standard. Like if these people like this, then it means this is what's hard right now.
You see, that's the thing. We've got tastemakers. I'm going to say Cozy.
Yeah.
Bulawayo boy.
Yeah.
People want to start messing with him when he's in Harare. You've got Uleni, you've got Marcus.
Yeah.
Bulawayo boys, Nyasha Jecha, Bulawayo boys.
Yeah.
They're all popping off.
Nyasha's from Bulawayo.
Nyasha Jecha.
No, Nyasha is not from.
Nyasha is not from Bulawayo, but
Marcus and Uleni.
Marcus and Uleni, the collective is mainly.
But we accept him.
We accept him.
Yes.
We are stealing him. We're taking him.
Nowhere to know.
So yeah, it's crazy. That's why I kind of have this mentality of I would rather be a Rhodesian rebel than I am a Zimbabwean. Because when Rhodesia, we all said, now we are all fucked, so it's okay. But now because it's Zimbabwe, it's now we've got the tribal wars, the things like no one wants to speak about, but people haven't gotten over things like Kukuraundi. We have paintings at Situo that always pop up every 3-4 years because of that. It's things that we have to kind of address. I feel if we can address it as a nation, then we can move forward. But we're now at a situation where it's like no one wants to take blame, no one wants to accept. Someone is going to say, I'm Namashona. So screw all the Shonas. And that's kind of also some of the things that you see in businesses. That's why some businesses are very toxic. I've walked into a corporate and then they ask you your name, they hear your dialect, then they say, you're not in Develand? I'm like, no, I'm Shona. Like, okay, good. Okay, you can go in through. I'm like, oh, now I'm from Bulawayo. Then they make you sit a bit. Are you Shona? Yes. Oh, okay, cool. You can go through. It's free. Are you in Ndebele? No. Oh, okay. Nah, we're not the place for you.
Like with Cozy, you're from Bulawayo. What?
No,
Bulawayo.
I mean,
then it's like
to discuss.
Then it's like, what's your name?
Definitely a thing. Like there is Shona privilege in Zim.
Then he says the surname. Why is Nakutaura?
You see, it's that thing. Especially if you have these funny names that are not like local names. They'll be like Miram. So that's why you see people now usually like to go by nicknames. I'm PJ, I'm JP, I am. You kind of start to understand more when you get into and you've stepped into those rooms and you see, okay, this is how it is.
Yeah.
Or you can hear when they're trying to conversate with you. They try to conversate with you in a certain language and you feel they're like, I get someone who can talk to him. The person we are supposed to see is now working out. And now getting maybe someone who's an attachment who's just there for vibes. Like, bro, I don't know. I heard I'm supposed to come and write down what you're saying. So, you see, it's that type of thing.
It's unfortunate because that's when you find people struggling to be themselves. Like, they now need to act a certain way to be accepted into certain spaces. It's like how we have, those black guys that now act very white and turn into coconuts just because they want to be accepted by a certain...
Hi, my name is Leon.
Yeah, they hate you when they see you come around their white friends. They're like, what do you want? I'm the one here. I'm him.
I'm him.
I'm him here. What do you want? Go next door.
And then the way you're saying that, it's also hard for other people. They now kind of look at you. They're like, you're friends with black guys. Damn. I mean, we can put you on the colored side. So it's kind of that.
Like is the barrier of entry also like that in the fashion space? Like, are you fighting through certain?
I feel like there are people that really don't care, that are really just cool people. like Uleni and Marcus and Nyasha, they've opened doors for so many
cool
people.
Gents.
Open gates.
You see, that one was a floodgate. The moment it opened, I was like, I'm in there.
Obviously, those guys are super
You see,
cool.
and I always I'm trying to do something even for locals. But here's the thing, the sad part is you DM someone and they'll blue tick you. And the sad part, they'll actually accept so that you see they left you unseen. And then they keep quiet. I'm like, oh, it's like that. And I've seen it, like, it happens a lot with local Bulawayo people. Because on my page, that account that like we talk on, it's a different account. I used to have another account, disregarded, got that one. That one's got literally nothing. So you're just going to go there. If you don't know me or you've never heard of my name, you're just going to be like, what does he want? You see, I don't do things for free. That's another thing that's going to get people like, why not? I'm an artist, so you have to give me free clothes. No. This is quid pro quo. I give you this, you give me something in return. It's usually easier if it's money, but if you have got the clout where I feel it will benefit me, I'll give you maybe a t-shirt that is branded Sex Sounds. So I know one way or the other, it's going to benefit me. We see. It's quid pro quo. But it's that thing that you kind of don't support each other as local artists. And when you tell someone honestly, like I feel like you're everywhere. You need to hone your craft in on one thing. You're now a hater. So.
Hey, how are you making money right now, bro?
Ooh, that one, it's a very tough one. But this thing, it gives me money, corporates, jobs that I will never tell people about.
Why are you a gatekeeper now?
I'm not a gatekeeper, but it's kind
You're washing out people.
No. Not me, bro. Not me. My nails are still dirty, so I don't know about that. How can I put this? If you want to do this, you're going to do a lot of jobs you don't want, even fashion-related jobs. You're going to be a designer, it's going to turn into a tailor. It's kind of...
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's part of the come-up. If you're an entrepreneur, in Zim terms, an entrepreneur is a hustler, if you didn't know. If you're a hustler, it means you're going to do stuff you didn't want to do. You're going to go one day, maybe in the neighborhood, you're walking by Kokogazba, and he says, shit, how much are you paying? 20 USD. Going to get tools, you need to make money one way or the other. You have to find a way. We're all different. Our skills are different. I feel you'd rather do that or get a job that pays you enough for you to make time for your passions.
For your passion,
Reason why, don't change the price. You're going to end up selling a pair of pants for 5 USD when you made them for 20. Why would you do that?
Don't change the price.
Yeah, you've undervalued yourself. And you know, when people start looking at you like, I used to get stuff for free from this guy, for them to kind of look at you like, you now need to go to Paris Fashion Week for them to even respect you.
Yeah.
It's that thing. That's the reason why some people you see who have a store full of clothes, but then you see him is the book, like you see him is reading, like, what you reading there? He's going to tell you, oh, I'm reading so I'm actually by Nast part-time or batch.
Yeah.
Why? He's now saying, I have to be an accountant to make ends meet. Eventually, I feel you get to an age where you can't just depend on passive income. You're going to have to get a job that's going to pay you income. That you know, like every month, 500 USD is coming in. Come rain, come thunder. That 500 USD, I'm going to pay my rent, my food, my what.
And usually, these passions need financing from other streams of income.
So, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Nobunaga, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming through, bro. We've been talking about working for such a long time. I don't know if I can consider this working.
This is more
part of it.
Yeah, it's part of it. This is a conversation.
It's part of it.
When you shut the cameras, we can talk about working.
We'll talk about working. All right, cool, bro.
I have something for you guys, but then when it comes in, you can let them know.
No, it's all right. Yeah. It's all right. Hey, man. Thank you for coming.
You're an XL, right? An L. XL. Okay. Maybe. Oh, okay. Nah, that's cool. I thought you were one of those guys like, I want to look ripped, with tight shirts.
No, I don't like tight. I don't like tight stuff on me. No.
You see, cool. Then I know that's a large. Nah, appreciate it.
That's all right.